Hi, it's Wyndham. I have some news for you. You can be anything you want to be, and you can do anything you want to do. How has that landed? I know how it used to land with me. It used to land with me, and I'd be like world-class eye-rolling stuff at that statement. The idea that you can be anything you want to be and do anything you want to do, my automatic reaction to that would be, oh, wait a minute, whoa. So I can be an Olympic champion, right? I used to be a runner as a kid. At one point, I had that dream, that fleeting dream, Olympics. So I could be an Olympic champion, could I? I'm nearly 48. No, I can't be. So I can be the Prime Minister, can I? No, I can't be. I could be a brain surgeon, could I? No. And I would use all of these clear evidence in my own mind that saying you can be anything you want to be, do anything you want to do, is an utter crock. And I think lots of people feel the same way. It feels like just one of those, hey man, just have a positive mindset, you'll be fine. And positive mindset is really important, and in and of itself, it isn't going to help. It is going to help. It isn't going to get you where you want to go just by having a positive mindset. That saying to me was that whole kind of, go on, whatever you want, you can have. And so I resisted it. And to a degree, I still resist that sentence, because I think it is too vague. Now, the truth of it, if I go back to those three things that I said, I can be an Olympian, can I? I can be an Olympic champion, I can be Prime Minister, I can be a brain surgeon. There's a really important word in that sentence, which is want. The important word isn't anything. You can be anything you want to be. The important word is not the anything. It is the want. You can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. Did I want to be an Olympic champion? Not really. Did I want to be Prime Minister? Oh my God, no. Did I want to be a brain surgeon? No. So using those three examples as evidence against the concept is disingenuous on my part. I have picked the wrong element to emphasise in that sentence. Even with the revised emphasis on want, I'm not sure that is clear enough. Because, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. Can I do that? How? And so I have tweaked it slightly. I think it requires a little more nuance. So the basic premise I do agree with. I think we as human beings, given our tendency to emphasise the wrong bit and look for reasons to disprove rather than look for reasons to accept, I've added a word. I've added two words, but one word in each half of that sentence. You can be anything you really want to be. You can do anything you really want to do. I spent years on the whole kind of self-reflection, trying to dig beneath the things I thought I wanted. You ask people what they want and you get a broadly similar, I want financial security, I want respect, I want status, I want love, I want all these things come into the pot. I want to be rich, I want to be famous. All of those wants are mechanisms. Now, I talk a lot about separating mechanism from meaning. I think it is one of the most important things we can do if we want a life of meaning, fulfillment, happiness, whatever it is you're looking for. Because a mechanism is always in service to something. Always. And a man-made, human-made mechanism, which, let's face it, millionaire, billionaire, that's currency, that's entirely human-made in the way we view it now. Status, yeah, there's a hardwired level of evolution status required, or battle for status. And yet, if you look at how status is qualified in our modern society, then that's all human-made, what we value versus what we don't. I want the big house. It's bricks and mortar. It's made by humans. And the size and the extravagance of it, well, that's a human comparative. All of the mechanisms, all of the doing, all of the surface level achievements we're looking for are all mechanisms. And they are all in service to something else. If we have not gone through the process of figuring out the deeper meaning for us, and those deeper meanings are simpler, they are universal, and importantly, there is not one single mechanism that we have to do in order to acquire them, in order to achieve them, in order to create these senses. For me, my deeper meaning that I came to was I want to feel fulfilled. And what makes me feel fulfilled, coming out the layer, is, well, helping other people, working with people to help them create lives they really want to live, helping them get out of their own heads. Okay, well, how do I do that? Well, there are many mechanisms I can choose that help me do that. Finding meaning in my life. Well, those two things, fulfillment and meaning, are really strongly linked for me. Meaning in my life is, well, it's not just about me. It's about other people. It's not altruism, because I feel good as a result. More happiness in my life. Well, happiness is this core state of being that there are a million mechanisms through which we can experience it. So that idea of you can be anything you really want to be, you can do anything you really want to do, changes the more we change the emphasis within the sentence. And this idea of getting truly connected, deeply connected with what we really want at our core. Well, it does two things. One, when we're at our surface level and we are unhappy, we say we don't know what to do about it. Right? We are looking for a mechanism without the deeper work to understand what that mechanism needs to be in service to. And so and that statement, you can do anything, be anything, well, that just opens the world up, and we end up in this kind of decision paralysis and, well, how can I possibly filter through and sift all of this stuff? I can't. So we don't. We stay where we are. Because we have misemphasized that statement. It isn't the anything, it's the want. And it isn't the want that we think we want, it's the want we really want, the deeper want. Love, acceptance, happiness, fulfillment, meaning. There'll be more. Kind of talking about the key ones for me. I spent a long time coming up with this idea, and the moment I realised it was like, oh my God, I'm doing groundbreaking work. People don't want what they think they want. I have to tell everybody. Turns out I'm not doing groundbreaking work, because a lot of people, a lot smarter than me, have been thinking about this for a very long time. This is a really interesting book. As you can see, it talks about mimetic desire, and that as human beings, we are fantastic at copying. We replicate, we mirror. And if all we see are people demonstrating their mechanisms, wealth, fame, opulence, extravagance, whatever it might be, then, well, if that's what we're seeing, that tends to be what we drift towards. And in order to do something else, in order to recognize we want something else, it is helpful to seek out other models of behavior, of how people live. In my last video, I spoke about growth mindset. And one of the challenges we have with this mimetic desire, with what we want, what we think we want versus what we really want, is we get very fixed in how we view the world. Right? There's this idea, I struggle with the idea of having lots of money for a long time. You know, I fundamentally disagree with the inequality in our world. So therefore, putting lots of money in one person's pocket seems very difficult. So how do I then expand my own thing to go, well, actually, it's okay for me to be doing well and other people, and to be helping other people. But we don't. We shut down our thinking because the people who are living and creating their lives outside of the standard models are on the edges of society in some way or other. Either extremely, like people, I don't know, wandering the earth, having no possessions, looking moment to moment. That is not how we typically live our lives. That is not the models of how we live our lives that we adopt. Even people who, talk about people with midlife crises, then we look at them, we roll our eyes and go, ooh, having a midlife crisis. Because they are rebelling against the model that we have been told, we have been given, we have been shown for years and years and years and years and years. They are rebelling against the conformity of the model. And that makes us all very uncomfortable. And our natural tendency is to look for reasons to reject that, rather than bridging to 10% of the idea. So, I go back to the top of the video. You can be anything you really want to be. You can do anything you really want to do. Question is, how clear are you on what you really want? I leave you with that. I wish you a peaceful and joyful few days, and I will speak to you soon.